Are you struggling to set goals that you can actually achieve? Well, then you might just be thinking about it the wrong way. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about some unusual ways of setting goals, setting and achieving goals that seem to work extraordinarily well for the people who came up with the ideas I'm about to tell you about. All of them have had fantastic results, at least over time. And still, this is what they said. The first ones we'll hear about, he said, I don't meet most of my goals. And the other said, I no longer feel the need to have a list of goals. And the third, simply visualize the process and let reality change itself. Hi, I'm Eva-Lotta. I'm a photographer and filmmaker, and I host the Real Storyteller Lab, where we dig deep into story structure and we also tap into our collective stories as a humanity so you can create magnetic content for your organization. And in order to do that, I feel we first need to align ourselves with ourselves so we know where we're going. And so in this episode, I'll be talking about three different ideas by three different thought leaders who create big results in surprising ways. And the first person I want to tell you about is James Wedmore. He is a business mentor of mine, and I recently did a short interview with him about this that you can also watch on this channel. And as you can hear there in his own words, he says that despite meeting only 20% of his goals, James has managed to create an eight-figure a year online business. And that's no easy feat. I'm sure you know this if you're also in this line of work. And to paraphrase what James says in that video, um, is that his secret is to set his goals so sky high that they actually propel him and his business forward. That's because in setting those hairy, scary, or fantastical goals, he really has to become somebody bigger than himself, somebody bigger than he is right now. And that's what creates those breakthroughs. And while I haven't had his level of success yet, I know exactly what he's talking about. Because by following James's example, I have been forced to grow into exactly the person my business needs, including facing my fears of public speaking and being seen on camera like this. Another person I enjoy reading a lot and whom I actually think I found out about through James as well is Richard Dotts. And I've got a lot of his books sitting on my Kindle, and I pick them up to reread here and there when I feel like I need a mind shift or a pick me up. And that's one of the reasons I included him in this video right now, because I must have picked up the Kindle again and got the mind shift that I needed. And Dodd's manifestation process has evolved over time and throughout his writings. And but this is what he says in the book called Automatic Manifestations. I'm reading from his book right here. And I no longer feel the need to have a list of goals in my life. Even though I have stopped the practice for years, my life has continued to flourish and thrive in all areas. Why is this possible? He asks. Well, to paraphrase what he's saying, it's because he has simplified the manifestation process almost to the point of setting and forgetting uh, rather seemingly fussy intentions. But the idea really is much bigger than that, and he explains it like this. Goal setting is a process where the emphasis is on the individual, the doer, rather than on the universal whole, he says. Basically, what he's saying is that the goal setting is a thing of the personal mind, which is not always the biggest and best resource we have on our hands, at least not on its own. Um, and the final person on my list, I think, would have agreed with that in some ways. He's José Silva is no longer around physically, but he has left a rich legacy behind that we can learn from. And Silva was actually an electronics repairman living in Texas who developed a keen interest in psychology to see if he could use that to improve his to help his children get better results in school. And his experiments were so successful that he went on to create an entire thought movement. And one of the visualizations he created is called the three frames technique. And basically, the way that works is that you're going to take yourself into an alpha brainwave state, which is a state where um, your consciousness is kind of beyond the here and now, and you're a lot calmer. And you're going to visualize three different scenarios at a certain angle. And in the first frame, he said, you're going to bring in the status quo of the situation, what it looks like now to you. And then in the second frame, you're going to bring in a visual of you taking some kind of action towards your desired state. And then, or something you're going to add to walk towards your goal. And then in your third frame, you're going to see what it looks like when you've reached your goal or your desired outcome. And then you basically let the cogwheels of the universe work out the details. And the way Silva teaches this is that you might come back to this over and over again, but each time you're bringing in the progress you've already made. So there you have it. 3 ways to set and meet goals that are aligned with you and your business. And as you can hear from these examples, I think all these 3 people, while they use their mind to get there, they also reach beyond letting go of the reins to have something bigger working out the details. And that's kind of fun, actually, because things might turn out completely different but better than we expected, at least over time. So when we're stuck, it really helps to check in with people who've gone before us or whom we admire to see how they think about this. And if that's something you feel like you might want a process for, I've created another video and a free meditation that you might want to watch. It's about how you create an imaginary advisory board. And I'm linking them here up below this video, and also a link to the 1 or 2 minute video where I'm talking to James, so you can hear this in his own words. And thanks for watching, and see you next time.